and the NPA. When did communication start then between these two bodies?
Well, the estimate from the NPA spokesperson is about 2 weeks ago. We know that there were 2 meetings last week and that 5 highly experienced, says Luvuyo Mfaku of the NPA, senior prosecutors are now working on the VBS matter. This is, it seems, at the request of the Hawks, who've approached the NPA for assistance on this matter. And then we've also heard crucially about the work of asset forfeiture specialists. And there, Jeremy, it's crucial to note that now that this incredible report is out in the open and all of these names have been publicly disclosed, they need to move quickly to freeze assets possibly linked to this VBS fraud.
We know that 6 dockets are under investigation. At this point, though, I'm assuming we don't have exact clarity on that.
We don't, and I've arranged for an interview with the Hawks spokesperson tomorrow in Pretoria. What we've heard is that municipalities opened cases linked to VBS and this great bank heist. And so it seems as though the work that both the Hawks and the NPA are doing are linked to those cases opened by municipalities, but also crucially to hear from the NPA that they're going to use this 150-odd page report as part of their work. So they may not base their investigations on that report, but they're reviewing, and the deputy on the team is reviewing what information they can use from the report in their own work.
I think that's a very important point. So let's separate the report from the investigation itself. While it will aid the investigation, no doubt, it could be coincidence, it might not be, that the report was released as the investigation itself is starting to ramp up. But what is important to appreciate is this was being probed all along.
Yes, although it does sound like this report and the clout of this report is now a fundamental foundation for what the NPA is looking into. And important there to note, Jeremy, is that as you read those initial pages of the Great Bank Heist report, they stipulate the kind of detail they've gone into, their investigative approach. And that's exactly what the NPA is now also reviewing, is how did they get to the findings they concluded upon? What information did they use? And we know from the report and the initial pages of the report that they included forensic analysis, forensic accounting, IT intelligence, and interviews with individuals. And there's an interesting clause in there about possible immunity for some of the witnesses who provided information in this Great Bank Heist report.
Erin, let me fish a little bit. Have the Hawks disclosed to you, or did you put the question to them about who they have spoken to so far?
No, but I did ask who was working on the case, and again, they're very secret at this point. It sounds like because of the stakes in this matter that the NPA is wary of giving too much information away. In fact, even talking about the freezing of assets, Luvuyo Mfaku of the NPA, wary to say too much because they're worried that now that people have been ousted, they may quickly start to move cars, money, and the like into the names of other people to try and avoid them being seized over the investigation.
Or do a runner.
Or do a runner, sure.
Did you put to the Hawks themselves how strong a case they believe they have at this point, bolstered by that forensic report?
Jeremy, I must confess I have not. We will be speaking to the NPA again tomorrow, and importantly the Hawks, because the Hawks are the initiator on the NPA's statements to us today of all of this work. So we will seek clarity on that. We will also seek clarity on the Hawks and their work, and I think importantly ask how much work they've done since the municipalities opened these cases prior to the release of this report. Have they been sitting on their hands or being lackadaisical while they've waited for this report to come out? And how much this report has escalated the work that they need to do to get to the bottom of things.
All right, that's the forensic and the investigative side of this particular story. Erin, thank you. Now,